Ladies, gentlemen of the DC Universe, we have even more from the set of Superman. First looks at Perry coming out of maybe Mr. Terrific's ship, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Steve Lombard. It seems everybody was having a fun time in that ship because they were popping out of it. So we've got to go over that, as well as a few other things in this video, more detailed suit breakdowns and how the suit is actually a little bit different. Not the kind of different in where if you just took a glance at it or saw it from a distance, it wouldn't appear that different from the main suit reveal that James Gunn gave us, albeit that was a battle-damaged version. But there is actually minor alterations to the suit that I want to get into in this video as well. I do just want to say that they are filming on a different street today in that of Cleveland, or Metropolis, if you will. So if there's more stuff coming out, I might edit this video, put some extra stuff in if there's some photos that I can use, but if not, I will follow it up in, yet again, another video. And of course, guys, I swear to God, I was just rendering this video to upload it, and lo and behold, massive shout out to Eric Drost, who just got an image of Clark Kent. David Corenswet in Clark Kent mode. Now, Eric Drost has a bunch of other photos that he allowed me to cover in this video, so a huge shout out to him, and that will be timestamped later, probably after the suit differences breakdown that I do. But we need to dive into this quickly. And just to say it one more time, there's probably going to be more photos that drop that are maybe more looks at Clark, and I'll probably get to them tomorrow, but this is all I need for now. I have been waiting to see Clark Kent in, well, Superman in his Clark Kent mode, and instantly, one thing stands out to me most of all. There's always been a bit of a joke with regards to the difference between Clark Kent and Superman. Okay, he changes his hair a bit, and it's just glasses. Sure, there's more subtle differences, like body language and whatnot, hunching his shoulders over and stuff, but this is something kind of new, and that is that Clark has kind of messy, curly hair. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, I don't know if I like the hair, but to me, I do love it. It's just, it's I don't want to say genius, but it's just such an obvious thing and a very useful thing to do for Clark Kent to kind of blend, well, not blend, but be further away from that of the Superman that you saw in yesterday's set photos. He's just really giving to me like a guy who tries to present himself nicely. Obviously, he's in his suit, he's going to work, he's got his briefcase there, he's got a copy of the Daily Planet, but I'm sure this is all a part of his, you know, I'm trying to give off, I just woke up, I don't put too much effort into my hair, I've put my glasses on, and I'm going to work. I'm not saying he's messy in terms of presentation, because he's got a nice suit on and everything, but it does just make that much of a difference. Even to like how he's wearing his glasses a little bit down on his nose. He probably sometimes pushes it up, but that can be a little bit distracting as well. Now, again, if you don't like this change or innovation to a way to kind of distinguish Clark Kent from Superman with his curly hair here, that's fair enough. I've seen some people say on Twitter already, though, that it looks like a Gen Z haircut or whatever, and I don't know if I'm, like, really out of sync, but, like, I've got, like, not straight hair, but wavy hair like this as well, and I think that is just what they're going for. Is that really, like, a weird Gen Z haircut to me? He's just got, like, it's the kind of hair where if you've got wavy hair like me, if you get out the shower and you don't blow dry it, it will go like this. It's not, like, super ringlet curly, but it's just something like that, and obviously, you know, in universe, does he have that naturally? I don't know. Does he have to straighten his hair, or vice versa, actually make it curly when he goes to work in the morning? Normally, Clark has mostly straight, dark hair, but, you know, maybe he has to actually manually make it curly. Either way, they've done this very deliberately. Sorry, I'm just very adrenalized right now because it's just, it's so typical that as I'm about to upload this video, stuff like this drops. But I'm glad I got the opportunity to talk about it, and I'm very, very grateful to Eric Drost for allowing me to use his photos. Please give him a follow. I actually recommend doing so you can maybe see some footage like this first for yourself. But yeah, to those who just, again, might not like it, try think of it in a way where I don't think it's meant to be, like, it's intentionally meant to be, like, not a stylistic hot Clark, even though I'm sure many people will still find him very hot here. I don't know, but think of it as a very deliberate choice, because it's not like he's done his hair up with some wax or some gel or whatever. It's a very deliberate choice to really make a difference between the Clark with the Superman hairstyle on the suit that you saw yesterday, and then you see this guy. in the glasses with a bit of a posture change and a bit of a, briefcase, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Lane. And, I really like that addition. I really, 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 really do. Compared to, and yeah, I will make this comparison. You look at Henry Cavill's Clark Kent here, like I see on my screen. There's not too much, honestly, there to distinguish from Superman. And I know, like, if we zoom out, I mean, in both situations, it's kind of like that. But at least here, one of the reasons I like it most is because it's like truly a very curly, different look. And I can keep saying the same thing again and again. But I think that's all I've got to say about this now. I know there's probably going to be more, but I will be covering that in tomorrow's video. But back to past/present Boba. Dying to hear your thoughts about this one. But guys, we also need to get into some fantastic news for the Batman Part 2. For all of those who are kind of worried about it, we did actually just get an update from Andy Serkis himself with some news that he recently only just found out. And I also just want to say thank you to those of you who supported yesterday's video. I know I couldn't really use, proper paparazzi photos, and I explained that. I did see some people say, why is this an issue? Everyone's doing it. They lied to you kind of thing. No, that's really not the case. If you see other YouTubers doing it, I'm telling you that they are risking a copyright strike, because I got told explicitly from the people who uploaded those really good photos that I do not have their permission to use those copyrighted images in my videos. So I'm on their radar. So if I did that, then it might not end up too well for me. So it's the kind of thing that some people, other YouTubers, might not even really be aware of. They might not think that far ahead because they might not have been burned before. I have a few years ago. So I've learned my lesson there, getting permission, reaching out, and maybe they'll get away with it. Maybe they won't. We're going to have to wait and see. But again, I just like to be safe than sorry on this channel. But the good news is I do have some good photos that we can look at of the Daily Planet crew and whatnot in this video. And I've got a little bit of a workaround with regards to some other things that we're going to cover. So another long intro. I do apologize for that. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you do go on to enjoy it. Consider subscribing. So many of you keep coming back in the past month, and around 47% of you aren't subscribed. So maybe today is the day you'll check that red button and think, yeah, you know what? I will subscribe and stay up to date with the latest in the DCU. So ever since we got those amazing pictures of the suit reveal yesterday, I've had time to digest it and really, like, me guys, I'll zoom in and then zoom in again, compare multiple different angles. Also, something I don't think people take into account a lot is how different angles, different perspectives, different lenses even can, actually make people think, oh no, it's the same suit or it is a different suit. I'm taking all of this into account, but I have concluded that I do think it is a little bit of a different suit. Now, before I get into the details of that, this doesn't mean that it is like an actual in-universe canonical different suit. I think the theory of, oh, maybe in the suit reveal that was his first suit, and this one that we've seen all clean without the battle damage is his second suit, so maybe that first one was a prototype suit. I don't really see how that theory makes too much sense in my mind personally, because if you had a prototype suit, the second suit, if you will, in this theory would look quite a bit different, wouldn't it? Quite a bit perhaps upgraded. But with the suit that we saw on set, it really is just, to most people, again, as I said at the beginning, if you took a glance at it or even saw it from a distance, you would think that it's just a clean version of the battle damage suit in that official reveal. Shout out to Kibar Art here, who did a very, very, very accurate mock-up of the suit design that we saw on set. Now, I'm going to be showing this image because I still don't have, permission to use the great images that are out there. I did get some good images from Greater Cleveland Partnership that I featured in yesterday's video, but I'll be using this as an example here because honestly, look at the suit yourself. This is kind of a spitting image artwork version, and I think he did a fantastic job. So, one example of how this suit is quite literally different, like I can practically guarantee it, even if it's subtle in the ways that I prefaced, is that the lining on the suit, which some people aren't fans of, some people are fans of, is actually quite a bit different, even if it's kind of low-key. So on the official suit reveal, on Superman's bicep, you can see the line goes up and then kind of splits into a bit of a fork, and then goes into the thicker bands of linings going into Superman's collar, like his clavicle area, if you will. But on the set, you can actually see, as seen in this artwork, or maybe you're looking at the suit images yourself, like you had to in yesterday's video, you can see it's just one straight line that goes up into some of the thicker lining that goes into the shoulder. That is quite literally different. It's one line as opposed to that first reveal that we got that went up and then split into two. That is literally a difference right there. Go see it for yourself. If you don't believe me, it can't really be denied in how it's different. And again, just to repeat myself here, I don't think that makes this is a second version of his suit. Like the first one is the one his mum made. This is like a new one. I still don't think that makes sense because they're still quite similar. Why would this be an upgrade? Do you know what I mean? That doesn't stick with me. And secondly, even though I loved the look of the large crest, that's a big thing for me. I love the Man of Steel suit, for example, because the Superman logo is much bigger. And in James Gunn's first reveal, the crest was very big. And again, I am taking into account angles here. But I do think that they've made the crest ever so slightly smaller, which is a bit of a bummer for me, but you can tell, even though Superman is leaning down a little bit in the reveal that Gunn gave us, so you could say, oh, maybe it's a different perspective. Seriously, this is still more than enough to see that in the official suit reveal that Gunn gave us, the crest is, maybe an inch or so away from the clavicle lining there, the lines on the suit. But in the actual suit set photos that we got yesterday, you can tell it's a little bit more than that. Maybe not, I wouldn't go as far as saying double the length, but it is more. And those linings are a bit different anyway. So again, I'm very confident. I mean, not as confident as blatantly pointing out how the lining on the bicep was 1,000% different because it splits into two. But here, it does seem to be a little bit further away from the lining right on his shoulder area at the very top by the neck. It still is a big symbol. I'm still very happy with it. To those wondering about the suit texture, that is still the same. I've seen some people say, it seems that they've got rid of the little, patterns on the weave on the actual symbol itself. That's not the case. I'm very, very confident about that. It's just the distance of the photos, the quality. Now, one last addition to the suit or potential minor alteration here. This is one that I'm a little less confident in, but it is the actual neck itself. So when I first saw it, I was like, nah, it's not different. But again, here's the thing. So in the official suit reveal, this could be a perspective thing. He is leaning forward, right? He's literally leaning forward, and that leaves a little bit of a gap at the back of his neck because it's like my shirt here will go a bit closer up. There'd be a bit of a gap at the back. So that could make it appear a bit more rounded and higher up on his neck. Now, in the set pictures of Corenswet yesterday, you can see that the neck kind of comes down like this, and they appear to have made it in a slight alteration, go down a bit more straight at the bottom, and then kind of curve off a little bit less rounded, kind of leaving a little bit more opening from his voice box, his Adam's apple, if you will, down there. So there's still most definitely a collar, but it looks like it's a little bit different. I just wanted to address this because I'm seeing people point this out as well, and I didn't think it at first, but it really does seem to be the case. But I'm a little bit less confident in this because of what I said with regards to in the battle-damaged version of the suit. I think it could just be a little bit higher up because he's leaning over into his boot. But there are some other set photos out there that show the different angles of Corenswet on set yesterday, and it does kind of seem a little bit different. And after all, I think this could be a likely thing because, again, with me quite literally pointing out how the bicep lining is like different for a fact, they could have made this slightly different as well. So just wanted to acknowledge that. Other than that, everything else is fairly similar, from his wrist guards there, the patterns, the linings on that. But without a doubt, I am absolutely confident in some of the changes that I mentioned. And that could just be, again, just simple minor alterations. Could be because they have a couple of different suits, but I don't know about that if it's, a more comfortable suit, because why would you change that detail up? So that's what leads me to believe that it's a slightly, very subtly minor alteration / improvement in design. Now, since I can't really use great photos of Mr. Terrific, shout out to Boss Logic here for doing a mock-up of basically exactly exactly what it looks like. Minus there's nothing in his ear on the set pictures, but everything else, this is quite literally, I mean, you guys have seen the photos for yourself, but can't wait for more Mr. Terrific. If we get more of him today, again, maybe it's happening as I'm speaking right now, but I thought this was a cool little mock-up. So now, guys, we need to move on to some set photos of other characters from Eric Drost here. So massive shout out to him. Reached out to him. Hey, can I use these photos? He was like, yes. And they're bloody brilliant quality. So he's got ones of James Gunn, literally doing the peace sign to the camera. But, you know, let's really get into it here. So we also got one of Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan, with her kind of little, I call them bathrobes when the actors wear these. And she looks amazing. The hair's great. She looks fantastic. She's hanging around with Superman on set. By the way, shout out to Ian Meadows, who also let me use this video of Lois and Clark in the distance. Obviously, a little bit low quality there, but it is something. It's something that I can use. If you didn't know already, they were filming on set together. There's more happening right now on my feed. Photos that are popping up of Superman and Lois talking to each other being filmed. This is obviously all on that set where it appears that there's like a ship landing, and we're about to get into those photos. The military arriving, Metropolis police, you name it, rubble on the ground. It's getting crazy. So what is it that happened there? Obviously, we don't know. That could go into all different avenues of speculation. But what kind of made me laugh is, you know, the whole Daily Planet is stuffed in this ship. Now, is this ship the same one that I've mentioned to you guys that is Mr. Terrific ship? Because it's very obvious that we're going to get his giant T-sphere ship with the T cut out there. Is this kind of just a little segment of that? You can blatantly tell they've built a bit of it, but then they're going to do the rest in post-production. But you can see Lois Lane venturing out of there, slowly but surely, looking a bit bewildered by what is going on. But then you even see Perry White himself with a cigar. So they managed to put a cigar in this. I don't know how they didn't manage to do that in the Batman with Colin Farrell, but Perry's freaking token on that good old cigar. They must have had a little bit of a hot box in that ship. You also have Skylar Gazondo's Jimmy Olsen, a fantastic look here. He hasn't got his bow tie or anything like that, but, you know, he doesn't need to, and maybe there's going to be different looks for him in the film, but everyone was packed in here, literally. We even have Steve Lombard coming out. This is what I mean, like, everyone's coming out like, oh, man, I don't know what Perry was smoking, but, you know. Eric also managed to get a brilliant photo of Eve Teschmacher here. We know that from descriptions out there. Obviously, we know Eve's relationship to Lex Luthor, but she's an influencer. So I've always theorized, could Lex weaponize her ability to have an audience to, I don't know, go up against Superman, defame him in public? We're going to have to wait and see, but we now know what she looks like in character. And not to mention, kind of going through the photos out of order here, but we just got Cat Grant coming out of this ship as well. So, like, again, it's fascinating that the entire Daily Planet crew was stuffed away in that ship. Maybe, I don't know, they're going along the ride with Mr. Terrific, albeit that we didn't see Mr. Terrific himself come out of this ship in this scene that these photos were capturing. So, you know, can't guarantee that this is Mr. Terrific's ship, but it most likely is. And again, I'm very confident that he has a ship in this movie. I could talk all day, guys, about what happened, why they flew over here, why did they come to the location of seeming danger. You know, we know that Superman's there. Were they kind of evacuated from somewhere else? You know, who knows? These are just little clues that we have, but I don't want to waste time going over all the different possibilities. I mean, you know how much I love speculating, but with this one, it's kind of a dead end until we learn actually what the scene involves in the story. And not to mention, we also have Ron Troop there, another Daily Planet reporter. So again, the whole Daily Planet stuffed into this ship. I have no idea what Mr. Terrific's got cooking in there, but it must be something good. Or, you know, maybe Perry's got some good stuff, and they just wanted some downtime after all of this chaos happening in the movie. But I would love to know what you think of these character designs. And also, with Ian Meadows, he uploaded this picture saying, just literally walked by Lois Lane to get inside my apartment building. And another user captured that. And imagine the pain. If I did that, it's just like, yeah, going into my apartment, Lois Lane is walking out the exact same time. he had a chance to meet Rachel Brosnahan. So right before getting into the Batman part of this video, as I was recording this, we have Prime Video uploading a poster for Batman Caped Crusader. They say the Bat is back, Batman Caped Crusader premieres August 1st, and this is a really, really badass poster. Not too much to say, obviously, other than I just wanted to chuck this in here because I know people will be like, Boba, you missed this, but it looks so cool. Can't wait to start covering this. And again, as I keep saying, we should be getting a trailer any day or week now, considering August really is just round the corner. Now, as for the Batman Part 2, we've got some brand new news as to when they will be filming. It's basically what I've been saying or projecting anyway for when the filming would roughly be, but this is kind of big news in the fandom because a lot of people have been concerned and there's been lots of rumors out there saying, oh man, you know, are they going to delay filming again? And will it meet that October 2026 release date? Because even though Matt Reeves has more time to write the script, given that it's not this October, it's not next October, it's the October after that, we still haven't heard anything. Gunn has confirmed he's still writing the script. And if you kind of, you know, look into it further, there's other things that drew concern because there's people who know people within the industry, and normally those who work on pre-production, like building sets, you need to know about that months and months and months and months and months in advance, and they hadn't heard anything because, you know, you would hear in advance to kind of mark that off your calendar. Very low key in how you would be, you know, getting work for the Batman Part 2. For example, for the Batman Part 1, they started pre-production around summer of 2019, you know, building the sets, doing all of that stuff that takes a long amount of time, and didn't actually start filming until early around January or February of the following year. So multiple months that goes into that. And, you know, we're kind of, the clock is ticking with regards to script completion and needing to get that work going. Sure, maybe they could accelerate it a bit if things do draw close. But that is, you know, just to, you know, get you guys caught up on the concerns, why people were a bit like, oh man, you know, are they going to really do it in time? But from the popverse.com here, they say, speaking to a crowd at Ace Superhero Comic Con 2024, Andy Serkis gave an update on the film. Well, there is a huge arc which you've got. Now, I'm not giving away anything, Serkis joked. However, Serkis did give us a timeline on when the movie might start filming and when we might see it in theaters. Basically, and this is like really cool because he recently found this out. Basically, I know nothing about the movie other than that I've just found out that we're probably likely to be starting filming early next year. Therefore, if you do the math, it'll be a year and a half after that, which is, you know, spot on. It really is. The coolest thing about this is that Andy Serkis, and you have to assume all the other stars, have been informed. As he said, I've just found out that we're likely to be starting filming early next year. That would have been done because things are going along nicely, cooking in the background. Reeves is putting pen to paper to the point of where his pen is probably on fire, and they, you know, would likely, the most logical reason would be to let the actors know to make sure that their schedules are clear, that, okay, you know, early next year, booking around this time, you would be informed. So this is very, very, very good news. Like, double thumbs up for things being on track. Now, this doesn't mean that the script is done, as Gunn even recently said it isn't, but it must be going through, you know, maybe a rough draft was done, but like they're going over it before that final done and dusted treatment goes through, and then it gets greenlit for that pre-production to then go on to build sets, all in time for early next year, February, March to start filming for like 4 to 5 months, boom, post-production for a year, then bam, October 2026 release date in theaters. So this is great. I think the biggest thing for me is that actors have been informed about filming early next year. I say actors because it's not like Andy Serkis himself only would be informed about this. So, you know, this is music to my ears. It matches, you know, what we could have figured out anyway, because, you know, as I said, I reverse engineered it alongside many other people. Okay, October 2nd, 2026, take off around about a year of post-production on that, take off 4 to 5 months for filming. That basically gets you to early 2025, and here we are. So obviously very reassuring stuff, but this also means, guys, like what I thought maybe would happen last year before the delay, there is a little bit of rippling off news with this with regards to, since things are on track, we might hear casting information for the Batman Part 2 come the very end of this year. Of course, you could say maybe next year if filming doesn't start until March, but you never know. We could hear about it November, December, around abouts there for the new Rogues Gallery villain and any additional characters that they want to put in there. You'll be hearing scoops or exclusives from major trade articles like Deadline and The Hollywood Reporter and whatnot. So obviously, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I am going to be very eagle-eyed on anything we get, and it's just great knowing that they're on track because it's basically only now a matter of time until we get some more things of substance. But that is everything I'm going to cover in today's video, guys, unless future me has added more stuff in, which may or may not have happened, but just know if there's stuff happening as of when I'm posting this video and you're like, Boba, the curse has happened again, trust me, you know me, I will be following up in a video tomorrow. So let me know your thoughts on everything we have discussed today. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say. I really appreciate the support on the videos. You guys are going crazy. So help me out again here by leaving a like on it. Help propel it out there into the algorithm and all good things like that. Do consider following me on Twitter. Join my Discord server. Links to that are always in my description box below. But I think, yeah, that is everything for now. I'm going to love you and leave you. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you people of the DC Universe in the next video. Goodbye.